Many people struggle with daily stress, anxiety, and a sense of unfulfillment that drains their joy and energy. They search endlessly for ways to attract positivity, abundance, and inner peace, often feeling stuck in negative cycles.
You see it everywhere.
The Secret Daily Teachings by Rhonda Byrne reveals how the law of attraction can transform your life through simple daily practices like gratitude and positive thinking.
It's a very practical approach.
Discover how your feelings shape your reality and unlock miracles every day.
Yeah.
Listen 10 lessons most important, the Secret Daily Teachings, and become the master of your destiny. Let's find out more.
It is a pleasure to be here. And honestly, I have been looking forward to this one.
Me too.
You know, usually on the deep dive, we are looking at something external, a new technology, a historical event, a complex political theory.
Right. Things happening out there.
But today we are going inward. We are looking at, you could say, the operating system of the human mind.
That is a great way to put it, the operating system. Because I think most people listening, and certainly I include myself in this, have at least heard of The Secret.
Oh, absolutely. It was unavoidable for a while.
It was this massive cultural moment in the mid-2000s. You couldn't walk into a bookstore without seeing that red seal on the cover.
That wax seal, yeah.
It promised that you could have anything you wanted just by thinking about it. But here's the thing.
Okay.
Watching a movie is one thing. Reading a book is one thing. Actually changing how you think at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday when you're late for work, you can't find your keys, and the dog just threw up on the rug.
Chuckles, right.
That is a totally different ballgame.
Precisely. And that is exactly the gap that this specific book, The Secret Daily Teachings, is designed to fill. You see, the original Secret book was the what?
The what? Okay.
It was the revelation. It was the theory of the law of attraction. But the Secret Daily Teachings, this is the how.
Ah, the instruction manual.
It is a manual. It is structured as a daily companion with entries from day 1 all the way through day 365, designed to take those high-level cosmic principles and just, grind them into the nitty-gritty reality of your calendar year.
I love that distinction, the what versus the how, because the promise here is massive.
It is.
I mean, flipping through the source material, the text literally talks about miracles, magnificence, and mastery. Those are big words.
Very big words.
But it also uses words like discipline and willpower, which are words I don't usually associate with magic. I usually associate those with, like, boot camp.
Well, magic, or manifestation, as Byrne puts it, has mechanics. It has rules.
It's not just fairy dust.
It's not just fairy dust. And that brings us right to the very first lesson we need to unpack today. If we want to understand this book, we have to start with the concept of living the principles.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because day 1, the very first entry in the book, doesn't exactly give you a warm hug to start the year. It basically issues a challenge.
It does. It sets the tone immediately. Day 1 makes a bold claim. It is not enough to simply know the principles of the universe.
Right.
You can read every spiritual book ever written. You can memorize the laws of physics. You can understand the mechanics of the law of attraction perfectly. But day 1 argues that the critical step, the only step that actually matters, is to live them.
It's the classic knowledge action gap.
Exactly.
It's like having a gym membership versus actually going to the gym. I can know exactly how a treadmill works. I can explain the biomechanics of running to you.
Sure.
But if I don't get on the machine, I'm not getting fit.
That is a perfect analogy. And day 1 takes it a step further. It says you can only become the master of your life by living these laws.
Mastery.
Mastery isn't an intellectual degree. It's a practice state of being. And if we jump ahead in the source material to day 289, Byrne doubles down on this intensity. She emphasizes doing this unceasingly.
Unceasingly. That is a heavy word. That means without stopping.
It means every day. It means in every moment. The source states that your whole future life relies on you and your ability to live these principles step by step.
Can we pause on that for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Your whole future life relies on you.
Mm-hmm.
On one hand, that is incredibly empowering. It means I'm in the driver's seat.
Right.
I'm not a victim of circumstance.
Right.
But on the other hand, does that feel like a lot of pressure to anyone else? It feels like if I have one bad day or one negative thought, I've ruined my future.
That is a very common reaction. I think a lot of people feel that. But I think the text is trying to shift the perspective from pressure to responsibility. It's about agency. And to handle that responsibility, the book introduces a specific tool in day 165, willpower.
Willpower. Now, usually when I hear willpower, I think about resistance. I think about trying not to eat a donut or trying not to hit the snooze button. It feels like a struggle against myself.
Right. That is the conventional definition. We think of willpower as a shield, but Byrne is talking about willpower as a laser beam. She's talking about the will to focus. Day 165 instructs the listener to use their will to determine to live the principles.
So it's not resisting the negative, it's focusing on the positive.
Exactly. It says, use discipline to practice every day without exception.
So it's the discipline of focus, not the discipline of deprivation.
You've got it. It's the discipline to wake up and say, today I'm going to look for the good. And here is the kicker, the payoff.
Okay.
She says the changes you see in your life will be in exact proportion to the level of your commitment.
Exact proportion. That's a mathematical term. It's so precise.
It is. It suggests this isn't random luck. If you give 10% effort to controlling your mindset, you will get a 10% improvement in your life.
Okay.
If you give 100%, you get the miracles. It's an equation.
So if I'm kind of dabbling in it, thinking positive thoughts when I remember, but mostly just complaining about traffic.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to get dabbling results.
Precisely. Dabbling in, dabbling out. And this leads to a really interesting point in day 261 about why we are doing this. Why put in this effort?
Right. What's the point?
It's about self-proof.
Proving it to yourself, not to anyone else.
Yes. The text says these principles are given to prove the cosmic law for yourself. It quotes that old adage we've all heard. The truth shall set you free. But in this context, the truth isn't some abstract philosophical concept. The truth is that you are a creator.
Okay.
Byrne argues that pain and suffering come from ignorance of these laws. Once you prove it to yourself by living it and seeing the results, you are free because you know how the machinery works.
It's like being a scientist in the laboratory of your own life.
That's it.
You run the experiment, you get the data, and then you know. You don't just hope. I thought this and then this happened.
And what you are experimenting with is the thought world. This is a fascinating concept from day 166.
Oh, I marked this one.
Yeah.
This is where she compares mental laws to physical laws.
Right. She points out that we all accept gravity. We accept that atoms hold together to form matter.
Of course.
We don't wake up in the morning terrified that we might float off into space or that the floor might turn into liquid. We trust the physical laws implicitly. We build our lives on them.
But when it comes to our thoughts,
we close our eyes. Day 166 says we close our eyes to the mighty law that draws to us the things we desire or fear.
Wow.
We tend to think of thoughts as these wispy, inconsequential things. Oh, I'm just worrying, it doesn't mean anything. But Byrne reframes thought as a manifestation of energy with magnet-like power.
So living the principles means treating your thoughts with the same respect you treat gravity.
Yes.
You wouldn't walk off a cliff expecting not to fall. So you shouldn't think negative thoughts expecting not to crash.
That is the core of the first lesson. Living it means respecting the law of thought as absolute, just like gravity. You don't get a day off from gravity and you don't get a day off from the law of attraction.
Okay, so if thought is a magnet, let's talk about the mechanics of how that actually works. Because thinking is a broad term.
It is.
This brings us to our second big topic. The mechanics, specifically, how feelings attract the future. And I have to say, the source material has this hilarious image in day 81 that I just love.
You're thinking of the office equipment.
I am. The giant photocopying machine.
It is a vivid metaphor. It really sticks with you. Day 81 states, the law of attraction is like a giant photocopying machine, giving back to you exactly what you are thinking and feeling.
I love this because it's so mundane. It's not a mystical orb or some grand cosmic force.
Right.
It's a Xerox. So if I'm standing there feeling frustrated, the universe is just hitting the copy button on frustration.
Over and over and over again. And what's crucial here is that the photocopier is neutral.
It doesn't have an opinion.
It doesn't care what you are copying. It doesn't say, hey, wait a minute, this is a picture of a disaster. Are you sure you want 500 copies of this? It just prints what you give it.
So if I'm stressed about money and I'm focusing on I don't have enough, the machine is just churning out copies of I don't have enough.
Exactly. And day 81 provides this as an awareness test. Byrne says, if unwanted things are appearing in your life, it is proof, absolute proof, that you are unaware of your thoughts or feelings.
Wow.
You pushed copy on the wrong document without looking.
That is confronting.
Oh.
It really takes away the victim card, doesn't it?
It does.
You can't say, why is this happening to me? The book says it's happening because you printed it.
It is radical responsibility. And this connects to day 151, where she shifts metaphors from office equipment to physics. She calls us electromagnetic beings.
This is the frequency model.
Yes. Day 151 explains that you are emitting a frequency every second, like a radio tower.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the rule, the operational constraint of this universe. Only things on the same frequency can come into your experience.
I want to make sure I understand this. It's like a radio tuner. Is that a good way to think of it?
Yeah, exactly. If you are broadcasting on 98.5 FM, you literally cannot hear the music on 101.5 FM.
It's just static.
They are in different worlds. They don't exist in your reality.
So if I'm on the angry frequency, let's call it 66.6. The rage.
Capital.
Happy people, good opportunities, lucky breaks.
Yeah.
They literally can't find me. They can't tune into my station.
Essentially, yes. Or even if they cross your path, you won't perceive them as opportunities.
Ah, okay.
You perceive them through the filter of your anger. You might see a happy person and just think, look at that idiot grinning. You are blind to the good because your frequency filters it out.
That explains so much about why bad days tend to spiral.
Yes.
You stub your toe, you get mad, then you spill your coffee, then you hit traffic. It's a frequency cascade. You're just digging deeper into that one station.
The text says every single person, event, and circumstance in your day is telling you what frequency you are on.
It's feedback.
It's immediate feedback. Instead of getting mad at the traffic, you can look at it and say, oh, look at that. I must be broadcasting chaos today because everyone around me is acting chaotic.
That's actually really helpful. It turns the annoyance into data.
It does.
But there is a time element here too, right? Because sometimes I feel good, but the result doesn't show up instantly.
Yeah.
Day 103 touches on this.
Yes, and this is a big one. This is the concept of ordering from the catalog.
Today, you are placing an order for your tomorrows.
Yes. This is where people get tripped up. They think, okay, I'm thinking happy thoughts right now. Where is my Ferrari? Where is my soulmate?
Yeah, I've been positive for 6 whole minutes. What gives?
Exactly. But the source explains that your predominant thoughts and feelings today are creating the frequency for your life tomorrow.
There's a lag time.
There is a lag time. It's like ordering from a catalog. You place the order and then you have to wait for shipping.
So the lesson is, feel good now to make tomorrow magnificent.
Mm-hmm.
You have to prepay the bill with good feelings.
You have to make the deposit before you can make the withdrawal. And that leads to the hardest part of the mechanics, the feedback loop of feelings. Day 3 and day 92 talk about this.
Thoughts and feelings cannot be separated. That's the key takeaway here.
They're a package deal.
Worry attracts more worry.
It's the spiral. Day 3 is very specific. Anxiety attracts anxiety. Unhappiness attracts unhappiness.
Or the flip side.
But the flip side is true. Joy attracts joy. Happiness attracts happiness. Day 92 calls this the inside Job.
To change the world, you only have to change how you feel inside. It sounds so simple, but we complicate it with excuses.
Constantly.
We say, I'll be happy when I get the promotion. I'll be happy when I lose 10 pounds.
We do. We make our happiness conditional on external events. We postpone it, but day 104 calls us out on this. It outlines the happiness formula.
The happiness formula.
The strict rule is, you must be happy now to bring happiness later.
But what about valid reasons to be unhappy? I mean, life happens. What if I'm in debt? What if my health is failing?
The source notes exactly those excuses. I can't be happy because I have debt, or my relationship is failing.
Right.
But Byrne is ruthless here. She says, the formula is the law. The law does not care about your excuses.
Wow.
Gravity doesn't care if you're a good person or if you have a really sad reason for jumping off a cliff, you're still gonna fall. The law of attraction doesn't care if your death is unfair. If you focus on the debt with feelings of lack, you get more debt.
That is tough love. It basically says the universe isn't sitting there pitying you. It's just reflecting you.
Exactly. It's an impartial mirror.
So we need a tool. Because if I'm in a bad mood or if life is actually really hard, if the ordering from the catalog hasn't arrived yet, I can't just snap my fingers and feel magnificent.
No, of course not.
I need a crowbar to pry my mind open.
You are absolutely right. The mind has inertia. If it's been running in a negative direction for 10 years, it's like a heavy freight train. You can't just stop it with a wish.
You need a lever.
You need a lever. And that brings us to the third lesson, and perhaps the most practical tool in the entire book. Shifting energy with gratitude.
This is where we get to the 100 Things Challenge. I saw this in day 2 and day 319.
This is for when you need to change your life fast. The source text says if you want to see miracles, you commit to writing down 100 things you are grateful for each day.
100. Can we just acknowledge how many that is?
Chuckles.
It's a lot.
I mean, I've heard of keeping a gratitude journal where you write down like 3 things.
Oh, 3 good things, yeah.
I'm grateful for my coffee. I'm grateful for my cat. I'm grateful for the sun. But 100, that's a workout.
It is a mental marathon.
Yeah.
And that is the point. Day 319 says this process banishes negative thoughts.
How does that work?
Think about the cognitive load required to find 100 things. You cannot simultaneously be searching for your 85th blessing and worrying about your bills. The brain can't hold both.
It's like you're crowding out the negativity.
You're crowding it out. It forces the mind to switch tracks.
Yeah.
It takes control. I tried to do this mentally while I was reading the notes. I got to about 12.
Yeah.
My house, my mom, my job, this podcast. And then I started looking at the furniture. I like this lamp. This chair is sturdy.
I am grateful for this stapler. It functions as designed.
Exactly. It gets absurd. But I guess pushing through that absurdity is the work.
It is. It forces you to lower the threshold of what you consider a gift. We usually only count the big things, the promotion, the wedding, the lottery win.
Yeah.
But to get to 100, you have to start noticing the microscopic things. And day 2 emphasizes that it's not just the writing, right? It's the feeling.
Yes, your power is in the feeling that you put into the words. If you just scribble a list like a grocery list, it does nothing. You have to feel the appreciation for the stapler.
Day 295 calls gratitude a transformer. It claims that without gratitude, nothing can change.
Nothing. That's a strong statement.
It is, and it offers a scale.
Yeah.
A little gratitude changes life a little. A lot of gratitude changes life a lot. It says true gratitude magnetizes everything you need.
So if you're stuck on item #45 and you're just staring at the wall,
Right?
the source actually gives us a cheat sheet.
Day 157 is wonderful for this. It asks, did you take a shower? Be grateful for the water pressure. Did you use electricity? Be grateful you didn't have to light a candle.
Simple things.
Did you take an elevator? Be grateful you don't walk up 20 flights of stairs. It lists inventions, cars, traffic lights, bridges.
I never think to be grateful for a traffic light. But imagine if they didn't work.
Chaos.
Total chaos. Exactly. Day 349 goes even closer to home. It talks about personal faculties.
Yeah.
Be grateful for your imagination, for your eyes that enable you to read, for the ability to think, for your breath.
Wow.
Byrne asks, are you taking them for granted or are you being grateful for them?
It's about shifting from entitlement to appreciation. When you realize how much is going right, like, hey, my lungs are working, it changes your frequency. You realize you're actually incredibly wealthy, biologically and structurally. And there is a technique for the words themselves. Day 186 talks about the thank you technique.
Giving words wings. I like that phrase.
Yes. Byrne asks you to notice the difference when someone says a polite, empty thank you
The automatic kind.
versus someone who says it with tears in their eyes. You feel the energy of the second one. Day 177 encourages practicing this until gratitude becomes your natural state of being.
So it's not a chore anymore.
It's just who you are. When you are walking, talking, thinking, and breathing gratitude, you are bulletproof. You are on a frequency where negativity cannot touch you.
Okay, so we have the commitment to live it, we have the mechanics of feelings as the photocopier, and we have the sledgehammer of gratitude to shift our state.
Right.
Now, let's talk about the guidance system, because sometimes I feel like I'm flying blind in life. I don't know if I'm making the right decision.
You are never flying blind. That is the core of the fourth lesson, the navigation system, or cosmic communication.
Okay, that sounds pretty out there. Cosmic communication.
It does, but the way it's explained is very practical. Day 4 and day 268 say the universe is talking to us every second.
Every second.
Day 268 says there are no accidents and no coincidences. Every sign, every overheard word, every scent, every color, it is all communication.
That sounds a little paranoid. If everything is a sign, isn't that overwhelming? Oh no, I saw a blue car. What does it mean?
Laughs. It can be if you overthink it. But the text says you are the only one who knows their relevance to you. It's about resonance.
So it's what jumps out at you.
It's what jumps out. If you hear a song lyric and it makes you cry, that's a message. But the primary signal, the dashboard light, is your feelings.
Day 4. Your feelings are cosmic communication.
It's a binary system. It's actually very simple. Good feelings mean good for you.
A green light?
It means you are on track, you are aligned. Bad feelings, they are not punishment. They are cosmic communication to get your attention.
Okay.
They are a red flashing light on the dashboard saying, change focus, you are heading off a cliff.
So if I'm sitting there stewing in jealousy or anger, the universe is basically saying, hey, pull over, check the engine.
Correct. It's saying you are currently thinking thoughts that are taking you away from what you want. And day 226 gives a specific warning about criticism.
Mm-hmm.
It asks you to notice how you feel when you criticize or blame someone.
Oh, I know this feeling. It feels tight, constricting.
It feels bad. It feels constrictive. That bad feeling is infallible guidance that you are currently attracting negativity to yourself.
But what if they deserve it? What if they're really wrong?
It doesn't matter. You can't criticize your way to a better life because the act of criticism lowers your frequency. Even if you are right about the other person being a jerk, your bad feeling is hurting you.
That's a hard pill to swallow because sometimes it feels so good to be right and to blame someone else.
It does.
But the physics of it suggests I'm just drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
That is a very, very accurate way to put it. So, and speaking of blocking the flow, there is a practical diagnostic in day 227 called the receiving channels.
I loved this checklist. It's so simple, but it really called me out.
It asks 3 questions. Do you receive compliments well?
Oof, no.
Not at all. Do you receive unexpected gifts easily? Do you let a friend pay for a meal?
I am so guilty of this. If someone compliments me, I deflect. I say, oh, this old shirt, it was on sale. It's practically garbage.
That's right.
Or if someone wants to buy me lunch, I fight them for the check. I practically wrestle them.
And why do we do that? We think we are being polite or humble,
Yeah.
but Byrne would say you are blocking your receiving channels. The implication is that if you block the small things, a compliment, a free lunch, a small favor, you are signaling to the universe that you are not open to receiving.
I'm jamming a signal, putting up a closed sign.
You are telling the universe, no thank you, I don't accept good things. If you block a free coffee, you might be blocking the new house or the dream job because it all comes through the same pipe.
Wow. Okay, so the lesson is say thank you, take the compliment, eat the lunch, open the door.
Open the door. Because sometimes what comes through the door doesn't look like a gift.
Right.
It looks like a problem. It looks like a disaster. And this leads us to our 5th and perhaps most profound lesson, the alchemy finding gifts in negatives.
This is the advanced level because it's easy to be positive when things are going great.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to be grateful for a free lunch. But what about when things go wrong? When you lose the job or the relationship ends? Day 68 says there are always 2 paths.
In every circumstance, Byrne says there are 2 paths, positive and negative. and you choose. She notes that we often label change as bad and resist it, and resistance creates pain.
But day 5 and day 22 make a really bold claim.
A very bold claim.
Good is underneath every single thing.
There is no bad in the universe, according to day 22. Now, that is a controversial statement.
Yeah, that's a tough one to just accept.
It is, but she explains it as our inability to see clearly from the bigger perspective. It claims that everything we attract causes us to grow.
That's hard to hear when you're in the middle of a crisis. This crisis is good for you. It feels dismissive.
It is hard, but the perspective shift is powerful. It suggests that the new qualities and strengths you need for your future are being forged in this fire. You are acquiring the tools for your next level.
I really like this something better principle in day 123 for this. This is for anyone dealing with rejection.
This is crucial. Let's say you didn't get that specific house you wanted, or the job, or the relationship ended.
Your heart is broken.
Day 123 interprets this not as a loss, but as the universe saying, that dream was not good enough for you.
Not good enough. That's a twist. Usually we think we weren't good enough for the job. I failed the interview.
Byrne flips it. She says the message is, something better is coming. You're allowed to be excited.
So instead of mourning the loss, you get excited for the upgrade. Oh, I didn't get that job. That means the universe has a better one lined up that I can't see yet.
Yes, and day 124 gives us the method to transform the negative. It says, look for the good in the negative situation. If you lost your job, maybe the good is that you hated that commute anyway. Maybe the good is you finally have time to write your book. Maybe the good is that you were burning out and you needed a break. Find the silver lining.
And then you command the good. What does that mean?
Yes, the text says to command that this change will bring unlimited good. It is an active stance, not a passive one. You aren't just waiting to see if it works out. You are commanding that it must be so. You are defining the narrative.
I'm the author of the story.
You're the author. There's also this visualization in day 186 that I think is really helpful for detaching from drama. The floating technique.
Float above challenges. I'm intrigued.
I use this one myself. It's very effective.
How does it work?
You imagine you are floating way up in the sky looking down on your problem. From up there, your city looks like a grid. Your house is a dot. And your problem, that argument with your spouse, that deadline, is just a little dot of negativity.
It puts it in perspective. When you're in it, the problem feels like a mountain.
It does.
From the sky, it's a pebble.
It prevents you from drowning in the emotion. It keeps your frequency high enough to solve the problem rather than being dragged down by it. It's by detachment.
So we've covered the daily mechanics. We've talked about the tools. But there's a deeper layer here about who we actually are.
Yes.
This final section of our deep dive is about advanced applications and identity. Because ultimately, this isn't just about getting cars and houses. It's about being a different kind of person.
Yes. This goes beyond getting stuff to being. Day 156 provides a list of I am affirmations, and they are quite absolute.
I am whole, I am perfect, I am strong, I am powerful, I am loving, I am harmonious, I am happy.
And then she asks that cheeky question, got any work to do?
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah.
But seriously, asserting I am perfect when you feel broken it's a rebellious act. It feels like lying.
It feels like lying to the current reality, but it is speaking the truth to the ultimate reality. It is rewriting your code. You are overwriting the program that says I am flawed or I am weak. The phrase I am is historically and spiritually very powerful. Whatever you put after I am, you become.
And then there's the power of asking for others. Day 178. This was a surprise to me because people often criticize the law of attraction as being selfish. Me, my car, my money.
Exactly. It gets that reputation. But day 178 says the most powerful thing you can do is ask for others. Ask for all.
Peace for all. Abundance for
Yes. Because if you ask for abundance for everyone, you're included in everyone.
Right. You can't be left out of all.
Exactly. You can't be left out. And it shifts you out of a lack mindset, where there isn't enough to go around, into an abundance mindset where there's enough for everyone to be wealthy and happy.
Now, I want to touch on day 230 because it tells a personal story about Rhonda Byrne herself.
Yes.
And I think this is so important because people might think she just sat on a couch, ate bonbons, and wished for The Secret to happen.
Yeah. Far from it. This entry describes the creation of the film. It was a crisis.
A crisis.
She was in massive debt. The film cost millions to make. She had mortgaged her home. She was on the brink of total ruin.
And she admits she made a mistake initially.
She did. She looked for help in the outside world. She tried to find financiers. She tried to find distributors.
Doors slammed in her face. That's the quote.
One after another. As long as she was running around panicked, looking for a savior or a financier outside of herself, she hit walls. The universe reflected her panic.
So what changed? What was the turning point?
She stopped looking out. She shifted to connect with the power within. Day 230 says when she did that, when she held the outcome in her heart and mind and refused to waver, the way they lit up.
Wow.
The money came. The team came. The viral success came.
It's the ultimate proof of the pudding. The very book we are reading exists because she lived this principle in her darkest moment.
It illustrates that you don't use these principles when things are easy. You use them when you have no other choice. That is when they are most powerful.
And finally, for the romantics out there, Day 194 has some advice on love.
Yes. Love. The area where we have the least control and try to exert the most.
Jekyll.
True.
So true. What's the advice?
Surrender. That is the word. If you are looking for love, Day 194 says to surrender to the universe.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Stop trying to force it or control how it happens. Stop swiping frantically. Let the universe move you to the perfect person.
Get out of the way.
Yeah.
That might be the hardest lesson of all for us control freaks.
Chuckles.
We want to drive the bus.
But if you drive the bus, you can only go where you know how to go. If you let the universe drive, you can go places you've never imagined.
Wow. We have covered some serious ground here. From the photocopier of feelings, to the gratitude sledgehammer, to the 100 Things Challenge.
We have. It is a comprehensive manual.
Let's recap quickly for everyone listening. If you want to take 5 things away from the Secret Daily Teachings, here they are. Lesson 1. Live the Secret's principles to become the master of your life. It's not a theory, it's a discipline. Do it unceasingly.
Absolutely key.
Lesson 2. Shift energy with gratitude. Write 100 things daily and feel it. Yes, 100. It bans negatives.
The heavy lifting.
Lesson 3. Feelings attract the future. Positive ones bring more positivity. Your feelings are the photocopier.
Watch what you're printing.
Lesson 4. The universe guides via feelings. Listen to good, bad signals. Your emotions are your dashboard.
Don't ignore the warning lights.
And lesson 5. Find gifts in negatives. They foster growth and strengths. Use alchemy to turn your stumbling blocks into stepping stones.
A perfect summary.
Before we go, is there one final thought we should leave our listeners with? Something to chew on.
Yes. I want to point you to Day 348. It addresses something you might be thinking. I've heard this before. I know this. Byrne writes that when you read these principles or watch the film, you only take in the knowledge that is on the same frequency as you at that time.
Oh, that's interesting.
But as you practice this, as you do the gratitude, as you shift your feelings, your frequency changes. You rise. So the next time you review these principles, you will understand them differently.
You'll hear new things.
You will see things you didn't see today. Why? Because you are different. Your consciousness is expanding. So this isn't a book you read once. It's a mirror that changes as you change.
That gives me chills. It means the learning never stops. We are always spiraling up.
That's the idea.
Well, thank you for watching. Keep it, please like, share, subscribe, follow up in next topic. Come back to continue the Secret Daily Teachings.
It is so good to be back. And I have to say, I'm really, really excited about what we're digging into today.
Me too. You know, most of the time when we do these deep dives, we're looking at, well, a single study or maybe a biography, something with a clear beginning and end.
A static source in a way.
Exactly. But today is different. Today, the source we're exploring isn't really meant to be read once and then, put back on the shelf. It's designed to be lived.
Day by day.
We are talking about The Secret Daily Teachings by Rhonda Byrne. Now, I think it's fair to assume that most of our listeners, and let's be honest, most people on the planet at this point, they've heard of The Secret.
Oh, absolutely. It was a global phenomenon. The documentary, the book, it completely changed the conversation around self-help and, well, reality itself.
That core idea that thoughts become things, it's been in the cultural water for, what, almost 20 years now?
It has. It really has. But this specific text, the Daily Teachings, it's doing something fundamentally different than the original book or the movie. Well, if The Secret was let's say, the big university lecture that introduces you to the law of attraction.
The 101 course.
The 101 course, exactly. Then this book is the daily lab manual. It's the implementation guide. The first book gave us the what, the philosophy. This one, it's all about the how, and maybe even more importantly, the when.
The when being. Every single day.
Every single day.
I love that distinction because it's one thing to understand the idea of manifestation on an intellectual level, right?
Of course.
We could all sit in a seminar or watch a documentary and nod our head and say, yes, I create my reality, got it. The whole other thing, to wake up on a rainy Tuesday, spill coffee all over your shirt, get stuck in traffic.
And a garbage truck, yeah.
And still try to keep your vibration high. That right there is where the rubber meets the road.
That's it, precisely. And that really is the mission of this deep dive today. This source material, it lays out a year-long journey. The stated goal, right there in the introduction, is pretty ambitious.
What does it say?
It says the aim is to help you live in harmony with the laws that govern all human beings so that you may become the, and I'm quoting here, master of your life.
Master of your life. Wow. That's a heavy title. That implies a level of control that I think most people feel they just don't have.
Not at all. Most of us feel like we're just dodging curveballs, right, reacting to what the world throws at us.
Exactly.
And the text acknowledges that feeling. It knows it's a challenge, but it promises that by taking this next step, by moving from just knowing the theory to actually practicing it, your knowledge of the law of attraction will expand beyond what you can imagine.
That's a big promise.
A very big promise. It promises more joy, more abundance, and this word comes up again and again, more magnificence.
Magnificence. I love that word. It feels so big,
Yeah.
so expansive. It's not just contentment or, okayness. It's magnificence.
It is. It sets a very high bar. And the structure is fascinating because it takes these huge metaphysical ideas and breaks them down into these bite-sized daily thoughts, one for every day of the year.
So it's manageable.
It's manageable. And it covers everything. I mean, everything from how we handle money to how we view our own health and even, as we'll get into later, how we clean our cars.
Oh, the car thing.
Yeah.
Yes. We're definitely getting to the car thing. That one, that hit a little too close to home for me.
Hey, kids, everybody.
But let's start at the beginning. The core theme is consistent. The Secret lays out the principles, but the real work, the important thing for every single person, is to live IT.
That's the whole point.
So let's dive into the real meat of it. I want to start with what our outline calls the mirror of the mind. This is all about Lesson 9 and Lesson 7 from the text. And honestly, this is where the philosophy gets really challenging when it comes to personal responsibility.
It's the absolute foundation of the entire philosophy, but you're right, it's also probably the hardest pill to swallow.
So, Lesson 9. It starts with a quote. We attract to ourselves what we hold inside. Okay, simple enough. But then it goes on to say, every circumstance, every person, and every situation that we attract and experience is based on what is inside of us.
And let's just pause on that for a second, because the implications of that one sentence they're staggering. He doesn't say some circumstances.
Right. It doesn't say the good stuff is you and the bad stuff is just, bad luck or the economy. It says every.
It's total, 100% ownership. And the text calls this a magnificent system. Now, you might think, wait a minute, why would you call a system that makes me responsible for my worst days magnificent?
Yeah, that sounds like a burden It sounds like guilt. If I'm having a terrible time, the absolute last thing I want to hear is, well, you did this to yourself.
I get that. But let's flip the logic for a second.
Yeah.
If your situation was just random, if you were just a leaf blowing in the wind of the economy or politics or what other people decide, you'd be totally helpless.
Powerless.
Completely powerless. You'd have to just sit there and wait for the world to change before you could feel happy. But if the situation is based on what's inside you, then suddenly you have all the power.
Because I can change what's inside me.
You can change what's inside you. You don't need the world's permission to feel better. You don't need anyone else to change. The control is yours. The text uses a really powerful analogy here with a mirror.
Yes. Let's break that down, because visually, this really helped me click with what Lesson 9 is saying.
Okay, so it says, your life is a reflection of what you hold inside you. So picture a physical mirror. You walk into your bathroom in the morning, you look in the mirror, and you see that, I don't know, you've got a smudge of dirt on your face.
Okay.
And maybe you're frowning. What do? Do you start trying to scrub the mirror? Do you get angry at the reflection and yell at the glass?
No, of course not. That would be insane. You'd just be smuggling the glass. The reflection isn't the problem.
Exactly. You have to wash your own face. You have to choose to smile. And when you change, what does the reflection in the mirror do?
It has to change instantly.
It has no choice. It's an immediate law of physics. The text is arguing that our entire reality works the exact same way. We spend so much of our lives trying to scrub the mirror.
Trying to force other people to be nicer to us. Trying to force our boss to give us a raise. Trying to manipulate the external world with brute force.
And Lesson 9 is saying all of that is just wasted effort. The control panel isn't out there, it's inside.
Which connects so directly to Lesson 7, and this is where they bring in the philosophical heavy hitters. We're talking about a quote from Aristotle.
From 384 BC. This isn't a new idea.
What's the quote?
Happiness depends upon ourselves.
So simple. It's so simple, and yet we fight it so hard. I mean, our entire society conditions us to believe the exact opposite.
It does. We're taught to condition our happiness on external events. I'll be happy when I get the promotion. I'll be happy when my partner finally starts doing the dishes. I'll be happy when the housing market cools down.
It's always when. Always in the future.
It is. And Aristotle and this text are saying that's a trap. It's basically slavery to circumstance. Happiness is an internal job. It's generated from the inside out. If you wait for the mirror to smile at you first, you are going to be waiting forever.
And the book doubles down on this. On day 126, it brings in the Buddha.
We are what we think. With our thoughts, we make our world.
It's the exact same message, just thousands of years apart from different corners of the world. The text keeps repeating this phrase. The job is an inside one.
And when you really accept that, it completely stops the blame game in its tracks. You can't blame the government, you can't blame your parents, you can't blame the traffic. If we fully accept Lesson 9, the traffic jam is there because of something we are holding inside.
Okay, let's unpack that one, because I can hear a listener right now thinking, hold on a second. I did not cause that accident 5 miles up the road that's backing up the entire freeway. How is that my fault?
That's the classic and very fair objection. From the perspective of this text, it's about your vibrational frequency and your alignment. So were you already running late? Were you feeling stressed? Were you dreading the drive to work before you even got in the car? That internal state of, let's call it resistance or rushing or dread, it acts like a magnet. It attracts situations that match it. You become a magnet for delay. The traffic becomes the physical, external manifestation of your internal chaos.
So the outside world is just, it's feedback, it's data.
Precisely. It's just information.
Yeah.
Which leads us to the next practical question. How do we even know what we're holding inside? Because let's be real, sometimes we think we're being positive. We might be saying, I'm a positive person, but we're grinding our teeth and our fists are clenched.
Right. And this is where day 4 comes in, and I found this so helpful because I can't possibly monitor every single thought I have all day long. I'd go crazy.
No one can. Scientists estimate we have somewhere between, 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. You can't police that. It's impossible. It would be exhausting.
So what's the shortcut? What's the hack?
Feelings. Day 4 talks about cosmic feedback. It says the universe is in a constant communication loop with you. It's guiding you every single second of every day, and it communicates through your feelings.
Your feelings are cosmic communication. I love that phrase. It's like a dashboard warning light in your car.
Exactly. That's the perfect analogy. The text says the good feelings mean good for you. The bad feelings are to get your attention so that you will change what you are focusing on.
So if I feel anxiety or anger or resentment, that's the check engine light coming on.
Yes. It's not there to punish you. It's not a sign that you're a bad person. It's just a neutral indicator telling you, hey, your frequency has dropped. You're currently aimed at something you don't want. You're scrubbing the mirror. Stop. Pivot your focus.
There's that beautiful analogy in day 162 about a river.
Oh, yes. You want to be feeling life flowing through you like a river, rather than tensely holding on to life.
And I think we all know that feeling of tensely holding on. That tightness in your chest, that clenching in your jaw. It happens when things aren't going the way we want them to.
That is the physical sensation of resistance. That's the feeling of trying to control the mirror instead of the self. The text is urging us to just relax, to notice where we're holding that tension, because that tension, it blocks the flow.
The flow of that magnificence we were talking about earlier.
Exactly. When you're tense, you are physically building a dam in the river of your own life. You are stopping the flow of all the good things that are trying to get to you.
Which brings us really nicely into the next big section of our discussion, the inevitability of magnificence. And this focuses on Lesson 6 and Lesson 10. And I have to say, amidst all this talk about personal responsibility, which can feel like a lot of hard work, Lesson 6 is probably the most comforting single idea I read in the entire source.
It's a profound promise, isn't it? It completely shifts your view of the universe from something that's maybe indifferent or even hostile to something that is fundamentally benevolent.
Lesson 6 says this: no matter where you are, no matter how difficult things might appear to be, you are always being moved toward magnificence. Always.
Always. That's the key word. Not sometimes. Not when you're good. Always.
So even when I'm having the worst day of my life, even when I've lost my job, or a relationship has ended, or I feel completely lost.
According to this text, yes. The underlying current of the universe is designed to move you toward good. It's like the current of a massive river. It naturally flows toward the ocean.
And the ocean is magnificence.
The ocean represents that magnificence, your best life, your highest self, total abundance and joy. Now, you can swim against the current. That's the resistance, the bad feelings, the tension. But the water itself, the very fabric of the universe, wants to carry you there.
That reframes struggle completely. It means the struggle isn't the destination. It's just me fighting the current.
That's it exactly. Now, there is a key nuance here from day 68 that's really important, because we don't want to imply that this is all just passive.
Right, that we just lie back and float.
No. While the universe is always moving us toward magnificence, we still have free will. We still have agency. Day 68 says, in every circumstance and moment of your life, there are two paths available to you.
The positive and the negative.
Yes. And you choose which one to focus on. So the universe is pulling you toward magnificence, but in any given moment, you can choose to focus on what's wrong. You can choose to complain. You can choose to worry about the future.
And that choice acts like a brake.
It acts like a brake. Or like an anchor. It doesn't stop the universe's fundamental nature, but it creates all that friction we were talking about. It just delays your arrival at magnificence.
Like the universe has the GPS set to awesome life, and I keep grabbing the steering wheel and trying to turn down a dark alley because I'm scared of the highway.
That is a perfect analogy. And the GPS just keeps recalculating, saying, in 200 feet, make a U-turn, constantly trying to get you back on the best path. Your job is to stop turning into the ditch, to take your hands off the wheel of fear.
Now, lesson 10. It takes this huge idea of magnificence, makes it deeply personal. It's about our identity. It says, You are unique and vital to the universe's functioning.
This is a massive, massive statement. Think about what that means. It's saying you're not just some random observer of the universe. You are a structural component of it.
Because you are one part of the whole universe.
Imagine a gigantic, infinite jigsaw puzzle, 1 billion trillion pieces. If even one of those pieces is missing, even a tiny, oddly shaped piece from the corner, is the puzzle complete?
No, it's broken. It's incomplete.
It is fundamentally incomplete. Lesson 10 is arguing that without you, the whole could not exist. The universe would be broken without your specific energy, your consciousness, your unique perspective.
That is a level of self-worth that I think most of us really struggle to accept. We're taught to be humble. We feel small. We feel insignificant, replaceable.
Right. I'm just one person out of 8 billion.
Yeah. But this text is saying, no, you are necessary. You are a required element.
And this is so crucial for the law of attraction to work. Because if you secretly believe that you're insignificant, what are you going to attract? You'll attract situations where you're overlooked, where you're undervalued, where you're ignored. But if you can truly, deeply believe that you are vital to the functioning of the universe, imagine the kind of confidence that generates. Imagine what kind of abundance that mindset naturally attracts.
It shifts the whole dynamic. It's no longer about, oh, I hope I can get a new car. It becomes, I am a necessary creator in this reality, and I deserve to have the tools and experiences that bring me joy.
Exactly. It's a declaration, not a request. And Day 191 just reinforces this. It says, within you are the exact answers that you need. You must trust in yourself.
So if you're vital to the universe, then the universe has obviously equipped you with everything you need to play your part.
Of course. The answers aren't out there in a book or with a guru or even, frankly, in this deep dive. Ultimately, they're in here, inside you.
It really all circles back to that inside job concept.
Yeah. It's a consistent thread through the entire philosophy.
Okay, so we know we're vital. We know we're on a trajectory toward magnificence. But how do we actually, speed things up? What are the tools? Because I can't just sit here and think, I am vital all day long. I need a mechanism.
The practice.
A practice. Which brings us to section 3, the magic words.
Ah, yes. Lesson 8, the ultimate shortcut.
Lesson 8. And it sets this up so dramatically. It says there are 2 simple words that stand between you and the life of your dreams. 2 words that can wipe out negativity and summon the forces of the universe to your aid.
And those 2 magic words are?
Thank you.
Gratitude. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? It almost sounds cliche at this point in the self-help world.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about gratitude journals.
Write down 3 things you're grateful for.
But the text argues that most of us haven't truly grasped the sheer power of it. We treat it like polite etiquette, something you say when someone holds the door. We don't treat it like a power tool.
The book calls it a mechanism to summon all the forces in the universe. That sounds less like etiquette and more like, well, magic.
In the framework of this book, it's not magic, it's physics. It's about frequency. But there's a catch, a very big catch. You can't just mumble it.
Right. Day 127 is extremely clear on this point.
It says gratitude is just words, 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 unless you feel it intensely and deeply.
And I think we've all done that. Someone holds a door for you, you say thanks, but you don't actually feel anything. You're on autopilot.
Yeah.
Or you say grace before a meal, but you're really just thinking about what you're going to watch on TV later.
And the text says that kind of autopilot gratitude has very little power. It's like a dead signal. It doesn't carry any energy. The goal is to reach the highest frequency of gratitude. You have to actually generate the emotion.
So it's the feeling that sends the signal, not the syllables.
That's it. You have to feel that warmth in your chest, that genuine appreciation. That's the transmission.
There's a paradox in here that really blew my mind. It's from day 64. I had to read it a couple of times.
Yes, this is a big one. If somebody was completely and utterly grateful for everything, they would never have to ask for anything because it would be given to them before they even asked.
That's just wild to think about. Can you walk us through the logic of how that would work?
Sure. It's all about your state of being. If you are in a state of pure, unadulterated gratitude, you are, by definition, in a state of having. You're acknowledging all that you already are, all that you already have. You are broadcasting the signal, I am provided for, I am abundant.
And the universe being a mirror.
The universe, being a mirror, has to reflect that state of abundance back to you immediately. It sends more things to be abundant about.
Whereas when we ask for something,
Asking, more often than not, comes from a place of lacking. When you say, oh, I really need more money, the underlying vibration, the feeling behind it is, I do not have enough money. The universe hears the I do not have part loud and clear and just reflects that lack back to you.
So pure gratitude completely shortcuts the whole asking process.
It does. As the saying goes, you don't need to ask for water when you're already swimming in a lake. You just enjoy the water.
So how do we practice this? Because feeling it intensely can feel really difficult, especially if you're having a bad day and you just want to crawl back into bed. The text gives us a really specific, actionable technique in day 355.
The 7 times technique. I love this one for its simplicity.
To improve any day immediately, say and feel thank you 7 times in a row.
It works like a mantra. That repetition is key because it helps break the momentum of negative thinking. If you just stop and say thank you once, your mind might instantly jump back to your problems. Thank you, but my boss is still a jerk and I have that deadline.
Right, the yeah but comes right back in.
Instantly. But if you force yourself to do it 7 times and you're consciously trying to feel it a little more each time, you physically shift your state. You create a new momentum. It forces your brain to start searching for things to actually be grateful for.
And it's not just about being grateful for the big, obvious stuff like I'm healthy or I have a family. Day 157 really pushes us to be grateful for the small, modern conveniences that we completely ignore.
This is such a great perspective shift. It asks, did you take a shower this morning? Did you use electricity? Listen to the radio or make a call on your cell phone or take an elevator?
I 100% take elevators for granted. Until one is out of order and I have to walk up 10 flights of stairs, then suddenly I'm extremely aware of how amazing elevators are.
Exactly. We only notice them in their absence. The text is asking, are you taking them for granted or are you being grateful for them? When you start vibrating genuine gratitude for your shoes, for the clean water coming out of your tap, for the coffee maker that works every morning, you begin to saturate your entire life with that high frequency.
And according to lesson 8, that is what wipes out negativity.
It is. You can't be genuinely grateful and genuinely resentful at the exact same time.
Yeah.
The two emotions can't occupy the same space.
It's like one pushes the other out. You can't be furious about the traffic jam and deeply grateful for the car you're sitting in simultaneously.
It's impossible. So thank you becomes the tool you use to displace the negative thoughts. It just elbows them out of the way.
I want to shift into the real nuts and bolts of how this all works. Let's talk about section 4, the mechanics of manifestation. We've talked about the, gratitude magnificence. Now let's talk about the how.
Okay. Day 60 gives us the mechanical definition of what a human being is in this system.
It calls us a transmission center.
You are a transmission center of the universe. You are emitting a frequency to the universe every second.
Every single second. No time off, no coffee breaks.
No time off. Even when you're asleep, your dominant vibration is still active. And here's the rule, the instruction manual for creation. To create what you want, you must telegraph your desire without breaking the transmission.
Without breaking the transmission. That sounds like the hard part.
That is the entire game. It means holding the feeling, the knowledge that your desire has already manifested. If you spend Monday telegraphing the signal, I have a wonderful new job, but on Tuesday you're telegraphing, I'll never find a new job, the market is terrible, you've broken the transmission, you've scrambled the signal.
It's like you're trying to tune into a radio station, but you keep changing the dial every 5 seconds and then complaining that you can't hear the song clearly.
That's a perfect analogy. You need to lock onto the station of your desire and hold it steady.
But then we get to the biggest trap. The thing that I think messes up everyone's signal, the obsession with the how.
Day 59. This is a crucial warning.
It says we get a desire, and then we immediately try to figure out how it's going to happen. How am I possibly going to get the money for that? How am I ever going to meet the right person? And the text says, this is a huge mistake.
A fatal mistake in the manifestation process. It says, as you try and work out how your desire will come about, you are actually pushing your desire away from you.
Why? That feels so counterintuitive. In the real world, if I have a goal, the next step is to make a plan. I need a strategy. I need a how.
In the corporate world, yes. But in the metaphysical world described in this text, the how is the domain of the universe. It's not your job. When you stress and worry about the how, you are almost always doing it because you don't see a way forward from where you are right now.
Right. I'm looking at my current bank account, my current situation, and I'm saying the path isn't visible from here.
And that creates a powerful frequency of doubt and lack. You're sending a very clear message to the universe that says, I don't have it, and I don't see any possible way I can get it.
So you're just confirming the absence of the very thing you want.
You're cementing it in your reality. Yes. Day 65 puts it very simply. The universe will do all the moving of things, including moving you. Your job is just to ask and believe. The universe's job is logistics.
I love that. I'm in sales. The universe is in logistics and fulfillment.
Exactly. You place the order on Amazon. You don't then drive to the fulfillment center to tell them which truck to put your package on. You just trust that it will show up at your door.
But this doesn't mean we just sit on the couch and do nothing, right?
Yeah.
I think that's one of the most common criticisms of The Secret. Just think about a Ferrari and it'll appear in your driveway. The text does talk about action and physical evidence.
It does. It's not about passive waiting. It's about active preparation. It's about aligning your physical reality with your desired reality, taking actions that feel inspired.
Day 19 gets very specific about money. It brings up the concept of tithing.
Take 10% of what you receive and give it away. It calls this the spiritual law of tithing.
Now that can feel really scary if you're in a place where you feel like you don't have enough money to begin with. I can barely pay my bills, and you want me to give away 10%.
It does feel scary. It feels counterintuitive. But look at the signal it sends. If you give away money, even a small amount, you are non-verbally telling the universe, I have plenty, I have more than enough, I have enough to share. It is a powerful physical act of demonstrating abundance.
Whereas if you hoard every single penny out of fear,
You're signaling there's not enough, I'm running out, and you attract more running out. You squeeze the flow of money so tightly that it just stops.
that makes a lot of sense. It's a physical signal of trust. And then there's the environment. Day 20 uses that car analogy I mentioned earlier. This one really got me.
It asks, why is it that most often you find that top quality cars are kept immaculately clean, while the older cars are often dirty and messy inside?
Ouch. I literally looked out the window at my own car after reading that and felt personally attacked.
It's about respect and vibration. If you desire abundance, you must treat what you currently have with the respect that abundance deserves. If your car is filled with old coffee cups and fast food wrappers, you're signaling that you don't value what you have.
So cleaning out my 10-year-old sedan is actually a manifestation technique.
Absolutely. 100%. Day 70 quotes the Buddha again. If a man's mind becomes pure, his surroundings will also become pure. The book uses the reverse of that as a practical hack. By purifying your surroundings, cleaning your car, organizing your desk, decluttering your home, you help align your mind with a feeling of order and abundance.
You're telling the universe, I'm ready for the good stuff. Look, I'm taking excellent care of what I already have.
There's space for more. You wouldn't invite a distinguished guest to a messy house. If you're inviting magnificence into your life, clean up the space for it.
Okay, let's move into our final section before we wrap this up. Overcoming resistance and the nature of the universe. Because even with all these tools, cleaning the car, saying thank you, not worrying about the how, we still get scared. We still doubt.
Doubt is the primary form of resistance. It's the ultimate signal breaker. It's the cloud that blocks the sun.
Speaking of the sun, day 212 gives us a really powerful image to help us deal with that doubt.
This is one of my favorite passages in the whole book. It asks us to imagine that the entire universe is like the sun. Now, the fundamental nature of the sun is to give light. It can't not give light.
Right. The sun doesn't wake up one morning and say, you know what? I'm tired of shining on Dave today. Dave was annoying yesterday.
I'm sick and tired of giving away all this light in life. No. The very moment it stopped giving, it would cease to be a sun. That is its nature. The text argues that the infinite universe is the same as the sun. Its very essence is to give. It creates by giving.
So the idea that the universe is withholding something from me, that's just a false premise.
It's a complete misunderstanding of the nature of the source. The sun isn't withholding light from you. You might be standing in the shade. You might be hiding in a cave of your own making. But the light is always there, always available. The cave is your negative thinking, your doubt, your lack of gratitude. Your job is just to step out into the light that's already shining.
But what about when the external reality looks really, really bad? I mean, physically, undeniably bad. Day 243 tells the incredible story of Morris Goodman.
The Miracle Man. This is one of the most famous stories from the secret film and book. This was a man who was completely paralyzed after a plane crash. He could only blink his eyes. The doctors told him he'd be a vegetable for the rest of his life, that he would never breathe on his own or walk again.
That is the definition of a desperate situation. That's not just, I'd like a better parking spot. That is life and death.
Utterly desperate. But he knew the one thing they couldn't take from him was his mind. So lying there, unable to move, he just visualized. He visualized himself as a perfectly healthy man walking out of that hospital. He completely ignored the reality of the paralysis and focused every ounce of his being on the reality he wanted to create.
And the text says the instruction is to visualize yourself in complete joy no matter what.
No matter what. That's the hardcore part, isn't it? To ignore the hospital bed, the feeding tubes, the doctor's charts, and hold that one vision.
And he walked out of that hospital.
He walked out. The text uses this as the ultimate proof that the internal signal, if held with enough conviction, will override any and all external evidence. If you hold the signal, I am whole, I am perfect, strongly enough, the external world, the mirror, must eventually conform. It's the ultimate triumph of mind over matter.
Speaking of I am whole, day 156 gives us a specific list of affirmations to help us hold that strong signal.
Yes, the I am affirmations. These are incredibly potent. I am whole, I am perfect, I am strong, I am powerful, I am loving, I am harmonious, I am happy.
Those are such strong words. They feel commanding. They're not wishy-washy.
They're identity statements. When you say I am, you are declaring your reality. You're not asking permission to be whole. You are stating it as a fact. And the text asks at the end of that list, got any work to do?
Meaning most of us usually don't feel all of those things. So our work is to get to the place where we can say them and actually mean them.
And just as importantly, we have to catch ourselves when we say the opposite. Day 211 is all about watching your words.
Catching unwanted words midstream.
It calls this a spectacular moment of consciousness. That moment when you start to say, ugh, I'm so tired of, or I never get a break, and you literally stop yourself mid-sentence. That is the moment you take your power back. You stop the transmission of the negative frequency right in its tracks.
It's like canceling an accidental order on Amazon before it ships. Nope, didn't mean to order that anxiety. Cancel.
That's it exactly. You catch it, you delete it, and then you immediately replace it with an I am statement.
So bringing all of this together, we have covered a huge amount of ground today.
We really have. We've established that the model here is that you are a transmission tower, that your internal world, your thoughts, but more importantly, your feelings, is the projector, and the world around you is just the movie screen.
And you can't change the movie by yelling at the screen. You have to change the film reel that's running inside.
We've learned that thank you, when truly felt, is the most powerful tool we have to shift that film reel. It's the master edit button.
And that we aren't just insignificant passengers in this universe. We are vital, necessary components of the whole thing.
And that no matter what, we're always being pulled toward magnificence. The great river of life is always flowing toward the ocean of our highest good.
Always. Always.
So what does this all mean for someone listening right now? What's the immediate takeaway?
It means that today, right this second, you have a choice. You can check in with your feelings. Ask yourself, am I flowing like a river or am I tensely holding on? You can look at your immediate surroundings, your desk, your car. Are they clean? Are you treating your current life with respect and gratitude?
And you can start the thank you loop right now, 7 times.
It sounds like a lot of work, but the text is adamant that this is actually the easy path.
How so?
Day 79 says, it takes so much energy to think negative thoughts. The easy path is good thoughts. Take the easy path. It is physically and mentally exhausting to be miserable. It takes muscle to frown. It takes energy to worry and complain. It is energizing to be grateful. That's a fantastic reminder. Misery is hard work. Happiness flows.
It really does.
I want to leave our listeners with one last thought from the text, something to really chew on as they go about the rest of their day. Day 160 is so simple. It just says, today is the best day of your life.
It's a bold declaration, but if you decide to treat it as true, if you actively look for the evidence that it's true, it becomes true.
And day 289 gives us our final marching orders. It is not enough to know these principles. You must live them unceasingly.
Your whole future relies on it.
No pressure, right?
The best kind of pressure, the pressure of impending magnificence.
I love that. Well, this has been an absolutely incredible deep dive. I honestly feel like I need to go clean my car and then say thank you to my coffee maker.
I think that is a wonderful and very powerful plan.
Thank you for watching. Please like me, share, subscribe, follow up in next video.